Hey everyone, and welcome to this little video on an introduction to Excel. Even if you've never used Excel beforehand, it is designed to be very user-friendly and to make certain calculations that might be arduous or difficult with a calculator or without a calculator very straightforward. There are a couple of things I'll take you through first as an introduction to Excel. Most of Excel runs on a grid base, so when you're trying to find certain items or whether you're trying to select certain items, we use a grid reference, and the grid reference runs horizontally and vertically along the top. Along the top, they have from A to Z and on up, as you'll see, if we go that far, and down the left it goes 1 down to, well, it used to be 65,000, but it goes up further now, they've extended that range. And so if I wanted to select a cell, say I'll call it this one in here, I would refer to that by its grid reference. So if I go up and to the left, I would see that it goes up to F and it goes left to 11. Now we could call it 11F, but we call that cell F11, putting the letter before the number. And everything that we do in Excel starts with this. So if we want to select this cell, if we want to point to this cell, if we want to reference this cell, we will use the language F11. I'm going to uncolor that. The next thing we want to do is perform some of the calculations which we've been doing in class or otherwise. Okay. So if I get a set of data here, and I'll pick some random numbers between 40 and 100. I'll pick just 10 numbers. So say I wanted to add all of these things up. Well, anytime we want to do a calculation in Excel, we have to tell it that we want to do a calculation, because if I just start typing in here, calculate this, if I just type anything in a cell, it'll just keep whatever typed in it. It thinks, right, okay, you just want to put text, or I can even put 1 is a number. I can even put numbers in here, and it'll just take whatever I've typed and I put it in that cell. So if I want to do a calculation, what I really want to do is let Excel know, look, I want to abide by a separate set of rules, so that you know I want to do a calculation. Let's do it. And the way that we do that is we click in our little box and we start off by typing equals, and already Excel switches to, right, okay, we want to do one of those calculation thingies that I'm so good at. And if I want to do it, I can just use my normal function keys. Most keypads or most laptops or keyboards or otherwise have a number pad off to the side, and if you have a look at the number pad yourself, you'll see that it has the cardinal digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 0, and it'll also have an enter key, and it'll also probably have number lock on that little part to the side as well. Number lock's just to say, look, I want to use this pad or not. Aside from that, you'll also have a plus and a minus, which are obviously what we would classically think of add and subtract. But there's also a star and a slash. And in Excel terms and computer language, a star means multiplied by, and a slash means divided by. So our 4 basic functions are mapped to those 4 keys: plus for add, subtract for take away, star for multiply, and slash or forward slash for divide. So if I want to add these numbers together, I can just click on each cell. So I can either type in the cell reference to the first one, which is A2, but if you notice that when I click it, it already puts it in at the top left of there as A2, which is what it is. I could then hit plus, and then I could click the next one, A3. I can hit plus, A4, plus A5, and continue on. And you could either type those in or click them in. In many cases it's clicker, it's easier to click them, and so you can leave it like that. If I'm happy that I want to calculate those things together, I will then hit return or enter, and it will tally it up for me. If I want to know what I did in that cell, I can just move back over it, and you'll see up at the top, up here, is the formula bar, what we call the formula bar, and it'll tell me exactly what I did inside that. I'm going to label it to the side to say what it is, and that's my total. Now, that was fine for 10 values, but if I have more than 10 values, say I had 20,000 values, I wouldn't want to be doing that at all. So we're going to use another idea, and it's the idea of an array. And I'm going to have a total using an array. And an array is just an idea of, rather than selecting each value individually, if they all are run in a row or run together, I can use a box to put them in. I'm going to put all those values inside a box, and I'm basically going to tell Excel, add up everything inside this box that I want. And it again starts the same way. We start with an equals, and instead of summing or adding them all up individually by going add, we use what is known as a function. Now, you have a couple of options for a function. If you go up to the top, you'll see insert is there. And I'll be able to insert a function in from here. Now, so you have a couple of options when it comes to putting in a function or using a function. You can type the function in directly, and for most people, the things that will commonly use, so they will just do that. But if you want to just use the function itself, you can go to formulas up along the top here, and you'll see that the first button we have up here is insert function. Now, they're also broken down here by common ones, but if you go to the insert function, you can type a brief description of what you want to do and then click go, and it'll do it for us. So say we want to add up numbers. It'll put them in order of popularity more so than anything else. And we can see that we want sum. Now, if we use this function, I'll take you through this function. You may find this easier, but I will click sum. And what it's going to do, it says, if I want to do it in numbers, it is selected A2 to A12. Well, it sees a row of numbers below where I'm going, or above where I am, and it thinks I want to add all these together, but I don't actually, because the 619 was the sum that we got previously, so we don't want to include that. So we have a couple of options. We can change that value from A12 to A11, but you'll notice in the notation that it's A2 and then a colon and A12. And that basically says anything between A2 and A12, or that box that makes, if I was to join those, which I will by clicking the button at the side, anything in this box I want you to add. And so it means if there was another column to the right, I could drag it over that box as well. Once I have picked that, I can either hit the down arrow or hit enter, and it will change that to A2 to A11. Just to do that again, I'm going to click the arrow here, and I'm going to select the box that it wants. Now, I'm going to delete everything that's in there, because it's going to think that I'm going to do it in total, and I'm going to just drag it across, and I can click enter. Once I've got that done, it'll tell me down here what my formula result's going to be, but when I hit enter, I'll also get 619. I also could have typed that. If I knew that I wanted to use the sum function, I'd hit equals to tell it that I want to do a calculation or have a function, and hit sum. And you'll see that most these are sort of by order of popularity, but also by somewhat alphabetical order as well, because you'll see D sum and I sum are before it. But sum is the closest match. I open brackets and say number 1, number 2. I can just drag my array or type in A2 to A11 or A2 colon A11 and close that.